YouTube, welcome back to the channel. This is Trevor with Green Money Momentum, and today is a very big day. Not only is it the first day of May, so we are 5 months into the year. Everybody who has made it this far and is still in the stock market, congratulations, because there's been a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt this year. It has been a pretty bloody year overall, and so if you've made it this far, congratulations, because there's many investors who are completely out of the market right now and probably pretty devastated with what happened earlier this year. But myself, I'm always bullish on the markets, and I believe during times like this, during times of retraction, these are the times to add to great plays and opportunities. And recently we have started to see some recovery, but today is a big day because we have a lot of big earnings reports coming in the after hours. So we have the major players of Amazon, Apple. We also have MicroStrategy, Reddit, but the one that we are talking about today is the fella that's in my background right there, and that is BigBear. BigBearAI, ticker symbol being BBAI. This is a defense stock right here, so they work a lot with the government. They have a bunch of big government contracts, and we are very bullish on the BigBear for many reasons. But BigBear is releasing their earnings after hours today, and so the earnings per share expectations are for them to be at -cents. That's -6 cents. That's what the analysts are saying. When we look at the history of BigBear, their last earnings per share expectation was at -5 cents, and they greatly missed that. So BigBear hit at -42 cents. They had a pretty bad quarter when it came to earnings per share, but overall, their revenue looked positive. So they are making a lot of money. And then also, BigBear did talk about how they have been paying a lot of their debt off with this company. We know that BigBear has a lot of debt. So what we have been talking about is how we want to see BigBear continue to gain those big government contracts while paying off their debt. The last quarter, it looked like they were continuing to do that, but they did say that there was a kind of a weak guidance for this year of 2025. So what we're hoping is that their revenue continues to rise. Hopefully they don't miss their earnings as bad as they did in the last quarter, but when we do look at their earnings history, it is possible. But hopefully they have more of a hit. Hopefully their revenue is continuing to grow. We did see them gain a lot of government contracts last year, so hopefully some of them show up in this quarter one when it comes to revenue, and hopefully their guidance is looking better. But either way, we're going to be reacting to BigBear here very soon. So right now, as I am recording this, just again, a couple minutes before the close, we are 3 minutes before close. Right now, BigBear is looking pretty bad. So it is on a straight down tick, but not too bad. I mean, if you zoom out, it's not much, just down 2% for the day. But we could see we are seeing a pretty big red candlestick down. And so with BigBear today, the stock has overall been pretty flat. It has moved up and then it has moved back down. But overall, a pretty flat day. So I think BigBear is going to be influenced a lot by the earnings report that they're going to show right here just in 2 minutes. And the overall market is going to be influenced again a lot by these earnings. With the major players of Amazon and Apple, it's going to be interesting to see what they have to say, because this is again going to be the quarter one earnings. And so it'll be interesting to see how their revenue has been, and then also how they have been affected by the tariffs. We know recently there was that pretty funny story where Apple took a plane and they put a whole bunch of iPhones and Apple products on it and transferred that by plane so they didn't have to deal with the tariffs. So all sorts of funny stories like that. One of the big companies that we were just talking about on the earnings today, Reddit, they just forecasted revenue above estimates, and we could see that Reddit just had a massive pop in their stock. So right now, Reddit is up 17%. That is pretty impressive. Hopefully we see these big, massive green candlesticks and all the others, including our play BigBear. But that's some positive news right there. Oh, that hurts. Oh no, BigBear down to 290. Ouch, that is not good right there. We just reacted to Reddit. We were hoping to see the same in BigBear. BigBear right now is down 9% in the after hours. That's a little heartbreaking. So the earnings are out. They just put this out on their website. It does look like quarter one revenue for 2025 was up 5% year over year. So that's a positive. And then what we were just talking about, they reduced their long-term debt by $58 million as a part of the conversion conversions with the 2029 notes. It's very positive right there, as we are seeing them continue to pay down that debt. So a lot of that debt was with those convertible notes. It does look like they have some of that debt burden off. And we know with finances, of course, you have the greatest opportunity to grow when you aren't under any stress with debt. So that's a big positive for the Big Bear. Their earnings per share is negative again. So the analyst expectations were a lot higher than it came in. Big Bear has once again missed earnings badly. So they reported a negative earnings per share of negative 25 cents, 20 cents below the analyst estimate of 5 cents. And so right now, currently, as we record this video, this is again just right after the hour after hours, Big Bear did fall some, but they are recovering. What this shows me is that there is strength in Big Bear and the investors believe in Big Bear. That's what I gather from this earnings. Their revenue looking positive. It's right aligned with what we have been seeing with Big Bear. 5% year over year. That's a positive. Also paying down a lot of that debt, a lot with those convertible notes. That's also a positive. So overall, myself, I am staying bullish on the Big Bear. Earnings were a bit choppy today, but the stock did recover after a big fall off. So I think the positive momentum is going to continue in Big Bear. I am investing for the long term, and I think that this stock has a lot of intrinsic value behind it. But I would love to hear what everyone else has to say about Big Bear, so please drop a comment in the section below. Please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.